Okay, I'm gonna work on this now. We just got done rerouting the cables, which we didn't show. So stock, they went around the front of the fork over here, and the cables were a little short. So now we just rerouted on the back of the clamp. Now they're nice and long. So before they could barely get to here, now they come way back to here. Still got room, so it's good. Okay, where's your carburetor? So he keeps breaking off the nut here, the plastic nut. So we need to figure out what we're going to do about the nut. So, how do you want to get to that side of the bike? Even just going through here like this, or?
Yeah. I think it's like that, then you're spinning it.
Okay, now what if we go over the top of the bracket instead of under the bracket? That should free things up a little bit.
It was hard too because I had the tank on. I had no room to.
Is there room to go above?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try going above. So we just gotta find something that works better. If you keep breaking stuff, you need to put a little lubricant in the hole right there. So once you go get some CRC or something right up there, or some oil, gotta lube your rubber over here.
The 336?
Yeah, just put a squirt on your finger and rub it on the inside. Just gotta make it so it's slippery. That'll work. So it dropped. Something fall?
Yeah, it fell into here.
Anything important?
I don't think so. That's not too heavy.
Oh well. Deal with it later. Okay. Okay, running up through there. The other side again. Go to the top. Okay, so I'm going to stick it right in there. Push that. Okay, we're all the way in. We're straight. How's our link look now?
If I push back on this to get in place, it puts a lot of strain on the bend there.
So this cable's a little on the short side.
See? If we come to this one, it'd be fine.
Yeah, but you can't put it on that one.
No.
But you said this with the cable was too long, the other one.
No, this is short, and this is the long. The other one, the mikuni one, is the longer one.
But it looks like you need a longer one. I thought you said the other one was too long. It was giving you problems.
Well, it was when it came through here because it had this huge S-bend in it.
I thought they were only like an inch different, if that much. And if we go underneath, it'll be slightly more direct, but it's going to be short. Yeah, it needs to go underneath that bracket. It can't be above it. Above it sucks up more length. Pull it out. Go through there. Okay, we're all the way in.
And then you're putting a lot of pressure on that, but it works.
Yeah.
You see that split in this rubber here too, kind of showing you the.
Yeah, let's make it a tight sleeve.
Yeah.
They are fairly tight anyway. See, it fits though. It's just you got to make sure you pull this out before that carburetor comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But this right now is usable. It's tight, but it's, as long as you don't yank on that carburetor, you're fine. If you yank on the carburetor, you're screwed.
Right.
Now this one here, I thought this one was only like a ½ inch longer.
It's definitely longer.
It's only a little bit longer. I don't see why it wouldn't be. It looks like it'd fit right in there a lot better. It's got a little room. It's got a little S curve to make. On this one it can go above or below. I think I would still run it probably down. It looks like this one here would fit better.
Mm-hmm.
But this one won't work. And this has a nice adjustment knob for tension, so you can adjust the choke. This one's on or off, you got no choice.
Right.
These are not progressive, it's either pull it out or pull it back. Just there's no in between. These ones here, you tighten this knob up and you can control. You can just push it a little bit at a time. It has
Right.
drag on it. So that's a better design.
Mhm.
Only Harley has that. The aftermarket doesn't do it that way.
Mhm.
It's on or off. But this one, I think this length it would fit better. I don't know why it was too long before, but to me it looks like it fits correctly. But you broke them both, so I think it's just a matter they didn't take them off over there before they started yanking over here. But I think you're okay with that. You still got a little flex still in there, but it's definitely fairly taut. Okay, so tighten it up a little bit. Don't get greedy on that. Some guys think you're supposed to torque that to 30 foot-pounds because it's a big nut. And they don't realize it's just plastic in there. Slightly above finger tight's all you need. Here's the correct wrench to use. So don't get too carried away, just enough that it doesn't come off. It's a plastic tube.
Something like that.
Nice and snug.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, pull it out, choke. To stay put now.
Yeah, I'd tighten this up a little.
Yeah, there you go. So when you loosen this up, even full loose, but it will pull. You can see.
I think it's because I tightened this. Before
Yeah.
that was tightened, it was just pulling.
Well, now we're pulling it pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's making more of a drag. But anyway, this does have a tightening effect. It's a split tube. Of course, I didn't screwed it all up. Okay, give a little more tension on there. No, not that. The finger, the thumbnail. Is that where it was before?
Nah, it's pretty tight. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you can take it off a little bit.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. So when it vibrates, it'll go where it wants to. So you just gotta remember you gotta pull that out to do that.
Yeah.
Now disadvantage is we forgot to put the cables on before we did all this. But so maybe I'll take that back off again in a minute. Okay, so now this here.
Take it off.
We'll see if we can do it. I think we're all right. Okay,
Need to get in the back of the
so this is our pull cable. So the pull cable pulls, goes this way. Now this is the early carburetor throttles on the back. They changed in the early 90s or somewhere mid 90s, and then they moved it to the front. Probably mid 90s. And they were over here. These take mikuni cables. This takes takes CV cables, 90 to 95 CV cables. Or if you have these push-in throttle, it takes 96 to like 07 or 8, whatever. So our pump's just about off on this. So here, I gotta figure out how we're gonna do this. So this one here, this is the return here, so that's not the one we're gonna use right now. So this one here goes right in here like that. I always put them down here first. You can roll them around. Push it in there. Pull up the slack. So now this one here, so you're supposed to have another tube in there on this bracket. Somebody has conveniently butchered it. So this bracket is not good. So this cable needs to come in from the back side over here. See, the spring doesn't really do anything. Because this is...
Doesn't do anything.
No, it's because it's all wrong. It's an inferior application. So it's supposed to have a tube in there that makes it all work correctly. Now if you put this on there like this, the spring where it belongs, and it'll actually do something, the spring goes right through the hole because see, it goes right through the hole. It doesn't do anything.
Right.
So this is not made at all correctly. And this needs to be beat down more so that it holds the cable in there correctly. So it needs a little minor fine-tuning adjustment with the appropriate device. When you hit there, it hurts for some reason. Okay, here's the tension on that.
Mm-hmm.
Still not bent correctly, but at least it's holding it now. The problem with this is this could get jammed up in here, cause some issues. See if it gets caught over in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it stays put. Now your two cables are completely longer than the others. So now if we put this one on the inside over here and let it follow through that one, it won't be out here like this.
Mm-hmm.
So, the disadvantage is they're going to rub up under here, so I'd probably put like a piece of cut down 3/8 hose around these or something
Okay.
to protect it, because that's a sharp edge on the back of that bracket, because it's not
Right.
really made to have a cable back there.
Right.
So I don't like that too much, but the routing's better back there in this application. So these are more equal now over here. Your vacuum hose is in right now? No, where's the vacuum going on this bike?
What back side? On this left side.
Where's it at back
The
there?
rear. Want me to get
There
it from
it
the
is,
other
way
side?
down there.
Yeah.
It's way down there. Hard to get to. Alright, look out. You put a little squirtum on there, it makes it go in easier. The problem is we don't have any squirtum to put on there. Pliers don't work very well either. Choke cable's in the way. And the motor. I'm sure I can think of a couple other things too if I looked a little harder. Okay. So that's not rubbing on anything that matters, that's good. The cable, the return cable, well, they're actually both rubbing on there pretty good, so. So you need to get a piece of hose on there, it's going to fray that stuff pretty bad. So I'm thinking of some like 5/16 hose, or maybe we get a piece of 1/4 inch on there, maybe to might fit in there nice and tight. Put the hose about this long, cut it, put it on there, put 2 zip ties on each end,
Okay.
because it's pretty hard to, you got to bend it to fit. So I would work on that a little bit.
Sure.
Otherwise it's going to rub through and cause issues. And then just put a zip tie right here to hold them right here, nice and loose, not too much. You can also zip tie them right here if you want on this cable, brake line. You just want one up here looking at it, be right here.
Okay.
So whatever makes you happy there. This here you can bend a little bit more into if you want, like that. Just steel. Whatever makes it work better for you. It's adjustable. Alright, so you want this just going in an exhaust pipe or something?
Something like that.
Something like that. So you can either go forward or backwards.
I went backwards.
Most of the time you do go backwards. But it gets hot on the cylinder to burn a hole through it too, so. This is your puke hose. Just drop it down between the oil pump and the back of the case there. So hitting on. Didn't go all the way down like it's supposed to. There it goes. Yeah, it's just dangling on the bottom of your bike. So usually I cut them off down there relatively flush so you don't have the ding dongs hanging down there. Unless you want to.
No.
Alright, crank that up a little bit. Otherwise you screw all the way out. So this controls your stroke. This controls when you engage. See how much stroke you got on your accelerator pump?
Mm-hmm.
You can cut that way back by moving that screw way down. Right now they got the thing all the way up for some reason. I don't know why. They're up pretty high to begin with, but they don't have to be. So I like cutting the accelerator pumps down where they almost do nothing. So you can adjust that down. See how it's coming out on the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
And you turn the throttle on, it hits. When it hits, it quits moving. We're not even hitting on the thing yet. See, now I'm hitting on it finally. See how far to go before you even did anything?
Yeah.
So that limits how much throw you get. So you can cut the accelerator pump action back by this screw and by having it be real late. See, right now you have to crack the throttle pretty good before it even does anything. And then it quits working pretty quickly. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I like turn them way down until they don't run very well. And you come back on them. So you're pretty well shut down quite a bit on the accelerator pump right now. Like I said, you can bring that back up a little bit if you want. Usually I want them just above the surface like that.
Mm-hmm.
But having it all the way up like you had it was kind of stupid. Wouldn't even do anything. Just take a screw and throw it away, basically. Alright, so these here need to be adjusted for full throttle, because right now we go all the way. Are we wide open? You're almost wide open. Did you want all that?
I'll take it all.
You want it all? So that means you gotta go up here and adjust out your free play. See this free play up in here? So you gotta take all that out. And see if you go full throttle. See, we're still not quite full. Go back, give another 1/8 of an inch. So it looks like it's all the way now. See, now it's not going no more. It's full throttle. You hear it stop too. Bottom out.
Mm-hmm.
Now this has a spring tension adjustment here. You can put this either there or different spots. See, this lever's only got one spot. On the early ones, they had 2 or 3 positions. We always clocked them over and dropped them back. They were always way too stiff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they added this piece in here because there used to be, I thought there was a couple of holes over here, like there was 3 positions.
Right.
And they always had the maximum tension on these damn things.
Hmm.
So we would pop them over the lightest one. Okay, so now you're getting full throttle. You can also see in here, just getting full throttle. Before you were probably only about there. Yeah, you probably had about 3/4 throttle when you first put it in, but that's probably because you had these unadjusted. Okay, so once you get to the max minimum amount for full, tighten that down. That adjusts to the primary one. Now the secondary one, we got a lot of free play in here to deal with. See the cable coming out right here? See the
Mm-hmm.
free play?
Mm-hmm.
So we're taking the free play out, see. Make sure that's all the way in. Now this might change on you because if this cable moves in here, it might take your free
Right.
play out. You still see you got free play. So just keep taking more of it out. Okay, now I'm getting tight. So now when you pull the throttle, it should stay open.
Mm-hmm.
See how it stays open? Okay, so now you go up here and you want to adjust this until the throttle, see how the throttle comes back. I go half a turn extra. So that's as tight as you can run it. So that means when you can yank it back quicker if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Now when you turn the handlebars, it'll all change.
Right.
So you gotta make sure you turn the bars and make sure it will
Check it
return.
again. Mm-hmm.
So usually it's gonna go at least another half a turn of free play when you turn the bars. So I went another turn. So that's a full turn under what it took to make it go. Now this nut here, they got bottomed out against the back side, which is stupid. So it's one of those cases where the nut's tight, but it's not doing anything. Come on, dumbass. Here, see how tight that was? I'm going to lock this one down. Doesn't need much, just enough to hold it. This one I'm leaving loose. I just hand do it because we're going to have to adjust it again probably. So for now it works. So you see how the spring is bouncing back and forth on this? So I don't think it's ever going to get here to do any damage, but it's not doing anything for you either. So if you're really careful, you can do a pair of die, snip, 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 snip. Take a coil at a time off and it disappears, or just leave it. It's up to you. I don't think it's going to really do any damage, so it's there, but it doesn't do much. Alright, so now that's all adjusted. Like I said, we have to do the final adjustment. You turn the bar both ways, make sure the throttle returns correctly. And that should do the trick on that. So what do you got for an air cleaner on this bike?
That's at the back.
Okay, we'll be
All on
back.
this. It's all in this.